What is up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sports Bets, but mostly chaos. And if you
I don't
if
know
you're
if there's
not
gonna be much chaos today.
if you're not brand yeah, I'll say we might be a little low on the chaos. I don't know if you're not brand new to our show, you'll notice that something is different. We do have a man out. Ben was unable to join us this evening for the show, but the show must go on. So the three of us are going to do our best to carry it the rest of the way, at least for just this week. And we got plenty we want to get to. We got baseball playoff updates, NBA season kicking off next week. We got to get to that, as well as NFL action to get to, all the good stuff. Cohooney 5. We got softball updates. Jason, get off my lawn. That's coming back after a week off. We got all that good stuff. But before we dive into all that, we do want to start the show off by sending our condolences out to Ray Fosse's family. Unfortunately, Ray Fosse did pass away yesterday after, what was it, 16, how many years? 16 years battling cancer. So just really sad for sure. I know me personally, and I've seen is that, Ray Fosse's been essentially part of my life growing up, watching A's baseball for basically the entirety. I've been an A's fan. So really unfortunate for that. But I know we've talked about it. I think we just kind of want to dedicate our show to him. So, but if there's anything else you guys want to add into that, feel free as well.
No, just like you said, we're younger, so we grew up listening to Kuiper and Fosse call the A's games, basically our whole life. So it's gonna be different, and it sucks that he passed.
Yeah, I mean he's synonymous with the A's. I mean, being in the Bay Area, we're lucky enough to have so many great announcers around us, and
Absolutely.
definitely one of them. I mean, when announcers are talked about around all sports, I mean, you can look at the Bay Area, and whether it's baseball, hockey, football, Warriors, we have great ones. He's definitely one of the best. So again, condolences to him and his family.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're gonna keep the show going, and we'll start diving into the first topic, which is going to be baseball, as MLB playoffs. We're almost all the way through the division series, and I guess there's the one game going on as we speak right now. The Giants and Dodgers game number 5 of the NLDS is still going. It is 0-0 at the moment. The other series are all done. So I guess we can just kind of jump into each series, and I guess we'll jump into, why don't we jump into the other National League series, the Braves and the Brewers. Either one of you guys want to start that off? I know so Atlanta ended up taking that series, 3-1. Maybe a little surprised the Brewers were picked to at least make the championship series with that pitching that they had, but the offense was just really absent. So
you want to go first or Jamie?
I'll go first.
Okay.
The Brewers offense kind of reminded me of the Braves offense last year against the Reds, where they could not do anything with it. No disrespect to the Brewers or the Braves, but I have whoever comes out of the LA San Francisco series going to the World Series. They've done the body of work. I think they're better teams top to bottom. Obviously, the Dodgers on paper are legit, maybe one of the greatest teams on paper of all time. I just, no disrespect to the Braves. I don't see it.
Yeah, it just the Brewers. You looked at them the whole season. You're just like, how are they? Where's the offense coming from? I mean, they're got Rowdy Tellez in the 5-hole. They got Omar Narvaez in the 7. Like he was cleanup for most of the season, but he's been fell off. You got Colton Wong batting leadoff. It's just they got to see this Escobar in the trade from the D-backs, but like he really wasn't doing anything. It was just, you look at that offense, you're like, I don't see how they're going to make a deep run. And then you look at the pitching staff, you're like, okay, but then Craig Counsell pulls Willie Peralta after 4 innings at like 57 pitches, and then Randy Hauser comes in and gives up the home run to Jock Peterson. You're just like, you pulled a Kevin Cash. Like you had your guy, he was rolling. You brought in someone else to face the lefty, and then he gives up a 3-run home run. Like these managers are just believing in analytics way too much, and it's showing that in the playoffs, analytics doesn't work. It comes down to talent, and the Braves, even without Acuna, they were the more talented team, and they're moving on.
Yeah, I'd agree. So I think as much as I didn't follow necessarily either seen two teams too well, nor that I really watched any of that series, but I think John, you said it really well last week when we kind of did our predictions of the division series altogether. You said that the Brewers are the pitching, but the Braves have the offense, and the Braves pitching was good enough to where
the Braves still have Charlie Martin. They still have
absolutely
competent. They have competent pitchers. Are they like top of the mountain pitchers? No, but they're competent.
Absolutely. So, all right, we'll take things over to the American League side, and let's jump right into the team that came out of the wild card game, the Boston Red Sox, after beating the Yankees out, which all of us had that one wrong. And I'm pretty sure we all didn't think they were going to beat the Rays, but they took care of them in 4 games there. And boys, what is your feels on that series? Just how surprised maybe we all are that the Red Sox are in the American League Championship Series now.
Well, I'll lead this off with I have no feels because every prediction I've made so far in the baseball has been wrong. So
you're right.
So I Dodgers to win the series, and so the Giants are probably going to win tonight. That's it's going to happen. Nobody expected the Red Sox to beat the Rays.
I'll say he's an idiot.
You're right.
You're right.
And we're going to see what happens with Boston and Houston. That's going to should be a good series. Man, Houston back for the 5th straight year in the ALCS. Say what you want. Cheaters and everything else to go with it. They're riding. Dusty Baker's doing his magic. It is what it is. I particularly don't care for the American League, those two teams. So I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah, my biggest issue is just where would the series have gone if it wasn't for that controversial play where Kiermaier's ball hits off the wall, then hits off the right fielder, and he goes over the wall.
Which I believe based on the rule, it was the right call.
No, yes. By the rule, it's the correct call, but it's a rule that the MLB should look at, and it should be, in my opinion, it should be the umpire's discretion. There we go. Because the player for the Rays was already rounding third base when the ball hit off the wall. He was going to score, and they had to keep him at home, and then they got out of the inning. And it's just a bad rule in my opinion. And it was series changing. I mean, I feel bad for the Rays because I feel like they got hosed on that call, but same time they came out game 4 flat, and the Rays and Boston did what they needed to do to win the series. So, the Boston moves on. It's interesting. I don't see with that pitching staff, Pivetta, Eduardo Rodriguez, a way past his prime, Chris Sale, like. Are they gonna
pass his prime?
He's okay. Sorry, maybe not past his prime, but definitely a Chris Sale that is not 100%. You could tell he's not 100%. They're not. There's no way that pitching staff is going to beat the Astros. I don't see it.
Lock of the week.
You know what? I hate the Astros so much. Yes, lock of the week.
Oh, wait a minute.
That way the Red Sox can actually beat them, because I am rooting for the Red Sox. I will root for anyone who plays against the Astros.
Of course.
But you just look at that pitching stuff and you're like, there's no chance. The Astros are going to have their way with them, just like they did to the White Sox.
Oh, I'm glad that we just already jumped into giving our predictions. I mean, we were going to, go over the next series and then we can talk about it. But Okay, well, anyways, I think looking at that Red Sox Rays series, the little bit that I was able to essentially, divide my attention to it, I just think the big thing that really hurts the Rays is, I mean, they had all these guys, they had no really frontline starter. I mean, who were the guys even threw in that game? I mean, they had that guy. I want to say it was game 2 in Tampa Bay. Raz, the guy who threw like what 3 innings all season, and he's the guy starting. Like I think that ultimately killed them. And I mean, the whole Blake Snell trade. I mean, it's looking. I don't know. I mean, I get it. The Rays have a lot of young talent. There's as long as they can keep going with the team they have, they're still going to be a contender. But I mean, this team won 100 games, and they're out here in the series with no frontline starter. I just thought that was what ended up being a huge thing. They couldn't stop a lot of guys in offense. Kike Hernandez had a solid series for the Red Sox. So the Red Sox are dangerous, but yeah, I guess would kind of lead into a little bit of the White Sox and the Astros series as well, because that was a series that the White Sox they just looked defeated really from the get-go. I know they ended up taking a game at home. But I think one mistake they did make was they opened their mouths after that. They had what's his face on the White Sox bullpen, Ryan Tepera, basically saying that the Astros are swinging and missing more on the road. They're noticeably more than they were at Minute Maid Park, basically accusing him of cheating. And Dusty Baker chimes in saying he's never even heard of Tepera until this series. Yada yada yada. Yeah, you just got to know by now that running your mouth isn't gonna help the situation. It's not just it's not beneficial. If anything, it amps up the Astros even more to shut you up. And that series ended with the flare. Was that 12-1 in that final or something like that?
I think it was 10-2. I believe.
I don't know. It was a lot to a little.
10-2, doesn't matter.
It was a lot to a little, and which is
no, you're right.
Which for a White Sox team that pretty much they had that division locked up so early. They had guys, they had Tim Anderson, who was kind of hurt down the way, and he was able to essentially rest to try to get healthy because they didn't really have anything to play for. I mean, the only thing they could have done was played for home field advantage in that series, but shocker alert, I don't think that series would have played out much differently if it would have been flip-flopped. I think they still lose. And what's crazy about the Astros is that Zach Greinke isn't even a starter. He's basically coming out of the bullpen of these games. They have guys like Luis Garcia, Framber Valdez, like all these guys, like, you never would have predicted these guys would probably be starting, because let's not forget, they still have Justin Verlander, who's obviously been out all year with an injury, but it's incredible to me that the Astros, they are finding ways to still win, even with these guys pitching. And I know there's a whole, well, if they're still doing it, yada yada. I'm not going to make any presumptions of that going on, but yeah, the White Sox, they just they didn't really stand much of a chance. I know we did our predictions after game 1 was in the books. They were beaten pretty convincingly, and I said I'll stick with it because the White Sox were my pick to come out of the American League. But yeah, they didn't look like a match that had any chance against the Astros in that series. So we do get Red Sox Astros. I believe that series kicks off over at Minute Maid Park tomorrow night. So
over the juice box.
Should we just go ahead and give it a prediction here? What we're taking? It's a 7-game series. I think we're probably all gonna, okay. Jay, why don't you start with you?
Well, it came out today that the Astros, Lance McCullers is going to be able to pitch, I guess, in the ALCS.
That's the guy I was another guy I was forgetting about. Which, don't get me wrong, McCullers. Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah, I don't think McCullers is going to be able to pitch in the ALCS.
Why not?
I don't know. Let me look it up. Hold on real quick. I got you. Go ahead. Keep talking.
What? Okay. We're like, is that breaking news? Like, little drum roll? Like, do you have a breaking news? Like, sound thing?
Huge blow for the Astros as Lance McCullers Jr. will miss the ALCS.
Oh.
Does that change things?
We suck again.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't change for me either. So
instead of Houston in 5, I'll go Houston 6.
Give me Astros in 6.
Yeah, I think it's clean sweep. I think the Astros doing this in 6 too. So I'm not trying to.
I hope we're wrong.
Yeah, I'm not trying to play down the Red Sox, but I just think that the Astros will find a way to win this series. So, all right, National League Championship Series. It's either going to be the Braves Giants with Giants having home field, or it'll be the Dodgers Braves with the Braves having home field. So obviously we don't have a confirmed winner yet because the game is still going on as we are filming the show. But I guess give me protection for both. No matter who comes out of this division series, what do you guys think? What do you guys take? I already know, Jay, you've already kind of teased it, but why don't you just give us our predictions with the amount of games and everything?
Give me whoever wins the Giants and Dodgers in 6.
I'll say Dodgers in 6, and I'll say Giants in 7.
All right. I think, I guess I was kind of thinking what Jay is saying, but I think I want to be a little different. I'll say if it's the Giants, it'll be the Giants in 6, but if it's the Dodgers, I'll say the Dodgers in 7. I think the Dodgers have a way of not really dominating teams, even with that team, with the roster they have. So I think the Braves will give them a run for their money, but ultimately the Dodgers will come out of the series. And we're all on the same page. I think no matter whoever wins this division series game tonight is gonna beat the Braves, and we basically all agree it's either going to be an Astros Dodgers, which holy hell, that would be quite the TV ratings if we get that, or an Astros Giants World Series. So
well, just remember, guys, it's not an even year. So
true. It's a valid point.
Right now with 2 outs.
He makes a valid point. All right. Well, we're going to keep things going on as we now will shift our attention over to the basketball court. NBA season kicks off next week. Jason and John.
Pretty crazy.
Just going to kind of let you guys take control of this one. Give me some preview. Give me any predictions you might have. I'll just press some buttons over here and enjoy.
Yeah, obviously a diehard Warrior fan, looking forward to the season. Obviously, I think you're going to split up the Warrior season into like maybe 3 parts. Beginning season where you're not going to be with Clay, but you're going to have Jordan Poole starting. And then you're going to get Clay back maybe sometime in December, January-ish, and you're going to have him for like a month or 2 to get back into playing shape. And then you're going to have him, after that, for the playoffs and break it up into 3 parts, I guess I would say.
Speaking of breaking up.
Wi-Fi internet.
Hey, Ben's here.
Hey, he's here.
No.
We heard you.
Oh no,
your
audio. You were completely fine. It was just your face froze.
It was a funny looking face too. We're gonna clip that.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, getting back, I'm looking forward to Clay coming back. Jordan Poole is probably breaking out for most improved player, possibly. I'm really excited for the season. I mean, again, anytime you get to watch Steph Curry ball, I'm excited. I think the West is wide open as people, seem to think, oh, it's the Lakers and everybody else. I'm not sold on the Lakers and their, old ass team, basically. Like, I'm just not. I mean, the Clippers are without Kawhi. Nuggets are without Murray.
Wow.
There's plenty of opportunity for the Warriors. I mean, I think based on Vegas odds, the Warriors have like the 3rd best chance to win the championship. But yet some people are saying that they might make the playoffs.
I think it's 3rd. Yeah, 3rd best in the West. Yeah, not 3rd best overall.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 3rd best overall.
I think I'm pretty sure the Lakers, the Nets, Lakers, and Bucks all have better ones. I'll have to double check. But yeah, with the
Bucks for
tie with Bucks. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to start off the season without Clay. I think it's gonna give the rookies a couple of extra minutes until Clay gets back to get them a couple of games, because I mean obviously you're not going to get humongous contributions out of them, but if they can get to get comfortable and they become that player off the bench, hey, you never know, because right now you're not expecting them to contribute at all, really. You're expecting this to be a playoff team where like you got a couple of good rookies who in a couple of years will be something, but like for this season, they're not going to do anything. But yeah, it's just I'm very optimistic about the season just because it's weird. Like I want to feel good, but at the same time, like, do I wish that maybe they did trade those 2 picks and got another star and just
can't do it.
No.
For this? Well, if you want to win a title this season, I think that would have helped. But obviously, if you're looking for 5-10 years on the road, you made the right choice. But for this season, I have a hard time putting the Warriors up there like the top 3. I mean, I think they're easily top 10, but I still think there's a couple more teams that they just got to prove they're better than when it gets down to that moment.
You play to win the game.
Yes, you do. But with the rest of the NBA, there's so much headaches going around. I mean, hey, Ben Simmons actually is going to go and report in Philly. He went there, he took a COVID test, and I guess he's going to play until he gets punched one time by Joel Embiid or someone else because he pissed them off. And then the biggest headache every single year, the biggest headache in the whole league, Kyrie Irving. Last year, he just took a paid sabbatical, didn't want to play. And now this year, he's not going to get the vaccine. Wiggins, he went and got the vaccine. Kyrie, he's refusing to. And while he could have played on the road, the Nets straight up said, no, go home. You're not playing. So, yeah, it's very interesting. While the Nets are still a great team with Harden and KD, they need that third player. It's, the Warriors kind of proved it in the finals against the Raptors. When your team is built around 3 players, one of them goes down, it's a struggle. And then, God forbid, 2 go down, you have no shot. So it's going to be a fun season. I cannot wait. Get to watch NBA basketball again. And, the NHL kicked off, and I've been watching a lot of NHL the last couple of days, and I'm pumped, and I just can't wait for NBA to start.
Yeah, I'm going to touch back on the Warriors really quick. I think their style is going to be must-watch TV. I mean, it's going to be run and gun. They're going to be going, shooting 3-pointers out the jump with all the talent that they added. I mean, they got rid of Kelly Oubre. Ironically, he said he didn't want to come off the bench for the Warriors, and guess what he's doing for Charlotte now? He's coming off the bench.
He's such a head case. Like, could you imagine if Iguodala did that? Like when Kerr told him to go, "Hey, I need you to come off the bench," and he should have said he refused. Like,
he initially was against it, but he eventually came around to it because he knew the betterment of the team. It made sense.
Oubre is just
Oubre's a head case. Kyrie. Yeah. I mean, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, Durant left Curry to play with this dude. And I'm really?
Oh, my God.
You left Steph Curry to go play with this dude. Okay. I mean, whatever. But by and large, the NBA is kicking off next week. Should be a good time. I don't want to see too much about LeBron James, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is. And
damn!
I'm excited every time, we're started next Tuesday against those LA Lakers, so I'm ready for it. It's a lot of Bay Area and LA rivalries. Here, so.
Over under 5 missed 3-pointers by Russell Westbrook. It's gonna be a lot of bricks laid.
He does not. I'm sorry, he does not fit on that team. It's gonna be so weird. Like, it's gonna be weird. He doesn't fit.
Where did Kuzma go? Do you remember?
Kuzma went to.
I'm totally blanking on where he went.
I want to say he went.
We'll figure it out.
He had a trade. There was a trade for him to go to Sacramento, but that fell through. Where did Hold on, I got you. He's playing for Washington Wizards.
Wizards. Oh, that makes the guy where Russell Westbrook just came from. Yeah. That makes sense. You guys have seen what former players of the Lakers did once they left. Look at Brandon Ingram. Look at Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball learned how to shoot a 3-pointer. Brandon Ingram looks like easily a number 2 on any team. And right now, if I was to bet money right now, my preseason pick for most improved player of the whole league, give me Kyle Kuzma. I don't know how much money. I don't know what the odds are, but every single player who's played under LeBron and left the Lakers has taken a huge step up the next season. So
That ain't true.
Crazy.
I'm sorry, Craig. That was the. I know you don't follow basketball and you only press the buttons.
I'm just
but
trying
that
to
was the wrong button to press.
I'm just trying to bring content to the show. Gotta bring
adversity.
Gotta bring adversity.
Craig looks kind of drunk right now, actually, to be honest.
How many white claws have you had?
Actually, but speaking of most improved player.
Not enough.
You know laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
There you go.
Yeah, there's.
Speaking of most improved player,
Mhm.
I think up until about a month ago, right before training camp started, Jordan Poole's odds for most improved player was plus 4,000. They're now plus 900.
Yeah, he's having a humongous preseason.
Quite the change.
Oh yeah, he's having a humongous preseason.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, we're looking forward to it. I'm ready to get
Oh yeah.
started. That's all I got, though.
Anything else from you, John?
Who do you think? Want to do an early prediction?
Prediction?
Yeah, let's go. Give me some prediction, guys. Let's go. I got it
Prediction
ready.
for what? NBA Finals and champ?
Do it up.
Yeah, early. Way too early prediction.
Way too early.
My man.
I'm going on a limb. Warriors stay healthy. Warriors are going to the finals. They're going to play the Nets. And they're going to beat the Nets. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I want to be contrarian because I don't want to take the Lakers but I know everyone's picking them. I don't know if I can take the Warriors though.
You can do it.
Screw it. Give me Lakers Bucks. I know. I'm
Okay.
boring.
You gonna maybe pick a winner of that series?
And how many games, maybe? I don't know.
I don't think so, Tim.
Lakers in 6. It pains me to say.
Gross.
I know it's gross. I know. Westbrook's gonna get a ring, and now he's gonna become an all-time GOAT, and everyone's gonna be all over him.
He's an all-time stat packer, man. That's all he is.
I know he is. Definitely.
All right. Anything else NBA before we move on? We good?
Negative.
All right.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Boys, good job. Way to cover it. Way to get us going. Because we'll have NBA, obviously, definitely more on the weekly show starting next week with that season kicking off on Tuesday night. So, all right, we're going to shift things off over to the NFL week number 5 in the books. And at least looking at the two of you, I know one of you is probably feeling really good while the other one's not feeling that good. So let's start with maybe a low point, and then we'll work our way up. So Jay, the Niners, they went into Arizona. It was Trey Lance's first start in the NFL, and not the most ideal situation going against an undefeated Arizona Cardinals. But hey, you know what? They kept it close. But unfortunately,
and without Kittle.
But unfortunately, they did not come out the victory. So Jay, take it away. What were your takes from this game?
I thought they played well against the undefeated Arizona Cardinal team. They made them look kind of ordinary, to be honest. The defense held their own. Bosa is being back to 2019 Bosa, just attacking the quarterback. Kyler Murray, we've kind of talked about earlier, might be suffering some sort of injury. Just didn't wow me. Trey Lance got his first start. He did okay. He had his highs and he had his lows. Some of his throws were right on the money. I wasn't a big fan of the design run calls for him. I like the fact that he's able to run, but calling run plays for him, you're gonna get your quarterback killed. And in the NFL, it's just he's gonna get hurt. I like the defense honest, but I much prefer him being in the pocket, throwing the ball around, and if things break down, you can take off and run.
That's what she said.
There you go. Brandon Ayuk, for whatever reason, cannot seem to get any targets, whether he's in the doghouse or not. Shanahan, I mean, like, look, he had a great season his rookie year. What changed from his rookie year to this year? Something off field,
work ethic.
Something's got to give to where, Debo's balling out of control. You're without Kittle. Ayuk needs some targets. I mean, he needs at least 5 or 6 a game minimum, and he's not even getting that. I mean, I think they're targeting Kyle Juszczyk more than they are Ayuk. And Juszczyk's one of my favorite players, don't get me wrong. But when you draft and you trade up to get Brandon Ayuk in the first round, you need to utilize him. And something's missing. They got a bye week this week. They come back at home on Sunday Night Football next week against I think a winnable game against the Colts. Be interested to see who's playing. Kyle Shanahan has said time and time again, Garoppolo is going to start if he's healthy. I'm not a fan of it. I've said this on the pod many times. Look, you're not a Super Bowl team. On paper, before the season started, you were. Things change. Mostert got hurt. Kittle's not 100%. Injuries happen. You need to adjust. You need to get this kid some live reps. So that way, maybe you sneak into the playoffs this year. If not, you're building for next year, and he's already got that season under his belt, is my opinion. The only way it makes sense for me to play Jimmy is if, hey, we're going to try to trade Jimmy, and we're trying to bump up his value. But let's be honest. He's a glass quarterback. You're not going to get more than maybe a 5th round for him right now. And at this point in time, right now, they're not going to get anything for him. They're going to have to cut him out of his contract, and he'll be off the books, obviously. But you're not getting a draft pick for him right now. If he goes out and balls the rest of the season, leads them to a playoffs, leads them to an FC championship, yeah, maybe you'll get like a 3rd round pick for him. But if they're hoping for that 1st round pick, it's just not going to happen. So yeah, I'm gonna, before the season started, I was really high on the Niners. I still am. Don't get me wrong. I just want to see Trey Lance play. I want to see him progress. I want to see Ayuk get more action, and Bosa and the defense continue to do what to do, because by and large, the defense has played pretty well. It's now up to the offense to start, moving the ball, scoring some points. And that's what Shanahan's main thing is being an offensive genius. It's time to scheme up some different things for the team to get going. But, that's basically all I got on the Niners.
All right. Well, good insight there. Hopefully with that bye week, they can, adjust a little bit. And, we're going to see what it is. If we do, we're going to see Jimmy, or we're going to see Trey. We'll have to see when we get there. But I agree. Yeah. Winnable game with the Colts, but we'll see how it goes. But we'll shift things over to
Speaking of getting their quarterbacks killed, don't contusion for Joey B. Maybe he should take. He needs to take Aaron Rodgers' advice he gave him. Learn to slide. Get down,
Yeah. Joey's got to be a little bit more cautious of that, I think. So especially, he had that season-ending injury last year with his leg.
Mm-hmm.
And he's too important to that team. I mean, the reality is they're 3-2. They are in a position where they could maybe compete for a playoff spot, depending on what they do. I mean, they have a winnable game against Detroit this weekend, so if you win that game, they're 4-2. So I think Joey needs to be a little bit more safe with it when he's on the run like that, for sure. So, But all right, we're gonna throw things over to John now. Dallas Cowboys. They had another victory over the Giants. Saquon Barkley got hurt. Danny Dimes got hurt. Was looking good for them even before those injuries took place. But yeah, John, why don't you just go ahead and break us down and exactly how the Cowboys found a way to improve to 4-1?
Yeah, it was one of those normal NFC East, great. It's closer than it should be kind of games to start off, but then, oh my God, if you're squeamish, do not look at the Saquon Barkley injury. Oh, it was bad. And then Danny Dimes tried to get a touchdown on his feet, and he led with the crown of his helmet, and just you can't do that anymore, because the defender was just trying to make a tackle, and he literally stuck his head into the other defender's helmet, and and that was scary when he got up and he started walking back to the huddle, and he was just wobbling. You're like,
wobbling.
Oh my God!
I thought he was in drop.
Yep. And then I didn't see what happened to Kenny Golladay. I heard he got hurt, and they were already without Slayton. They were already without Sterling Shepard. Their young rookie went off against the Cowboys, Tony, but then he threw a punch and got ejected at the end of the game. So it's just like, I don't know how much to take away from this Cowboys game. They did what they needed to do against a team that just isn't good. Ezekiel Elliott is he's hearing all the chatter from people, especially after week 1 and then the second game of the season. Tony Pollard had a bigger game than he did against the Chargers. He's hearing it and he's like, nope. I'm going to show you guys that I'm still that top 5 running back in the league. And he's done it in the last 3 weeks. Dak hasn't even really had to do much. CD Lamb had a big game this week after 2 quiet games the last 2 weeks, but that's because he hasn't been needed. Dalton Schultz looks amazing. Amari Cooper is just like, oh yeah, that's right. They have Amari Cooper too. And then the Cowboys, like, Michael Gallup isn't playing yet. Like, just imagine when he gets back. DeMarcus Lawrence. They got Micah Parsons playing defensive end, even though he's the linebacker, just filling in for DeMarcus Lawrence, and it's working. Just imagine when he gets back. Like, there's a lot to be happy about. But this game was just get in there, beat the Giants and move on. It was good to see Dak, that 1 year anniversary of him basically losing his ankle pretty much, came back and he's looked amazing. Is he an MVP caliber player? In my opinion, he's in the conversation, but he's top 5. He's not top 3 though. But they take on New England at New England this week. Should be another win. And then they have their bye week, and then the week after they have a trap game at Minnesota, and hopefully the bye week comes in a perfect time where they use the bye week to get their heads ready for that Minnesota game, because it is a trap game.
Where's the Minnesota game? Is it at Minnesota or here?
It's at Minnesota.
Yeah, it's in Minnesota.
Yeah. Because they have Minnesota, and then after that, it's another trap game against Atlanta, because they're gonna see Atlanta on the schedule and be like, oh, it's Atlanta, and they have Kansas City the week after. So they have 2. They get past New England, and they have 2 like potential like letdown games, just getting ready for that week 11 game against the Chiefs. So I just I'm glad that Dak Prescott's the quarterback, because he's a grown person, he's a grown man. He's not he's not a Johnny Manziel.
I'm a man.
All about himself. He has the perfect intangibles that you want in a leader, and I think he's gonna get the team ready. And yeah, it feels good after the last couple of seasons. A lot of disappointment, and this year it feels like 2016 all over again.
We're gonna have to eat some crow because the Cowboys do look pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. The Cowboys do look pretty damn good. And to be quite honest with you, I gotta say it. It's kind of exciting that the Cowboys are actually good. And hear me out. The reason why I say this is because look at the rest of that division. Do we really want to see the Eagles or the Giants or don't get me wrong. Washington was, a lot of us liked Washington going into this season, but that secondary has been torched really most of the season to this point. So
yeah, it's basically the AFC South this season. Like, do we really need to see Tennessee in the playoffs? Like, we get it. Yeah. Tennessee's going to host a wild card game and get knocked out just like Washington did last year.
So it's nice because the reality is the Cowboys have a solid team on paper. They're showing that they're a good team. So it's going to be exciting to see if they continue it. I think they will. I think that they can just keep managing to handle their division games, which so far they've been able to do so. So, if they're able to handle that, essentially go, I don't know, we'll just say right now 5-1 in that division. Let's just, we'll throw one loss in there, but if they can maintain that, they're looking at a good season. So it'd be nice to see the Cowboys in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. But the reality is it's a TV ratings boost. Everyone's going to want to watch the Cowboys in the playoffs. So why not?
If the Cowboys do what they need to do, again, they have, if you look at the schedule, they only have two tough games the rest of the season. It's pretty crazy to think about. The Chiefs game and the Cardinals game. Those are the two toughest games that the Cowboys have left on their schedule. It's very likely the Cowboys could go 14-3 if they lose those two games, and as long as they just take care of the business against the games that they'll be favored. And who knows, by the weeks 15 when they play Arizona, maybe it's not the Arizona that's undefeated right now. Maybe it's an Arizona that, they hit a wall and they're not as good as we actually thought they were. Who knows? It's like we've been saying, I feel really happy where they are right now, but we're only 1/3 of the season in. Like, we still got a long season to go. It's 17 games this year, so can't get too high, can't get too low. As long as you're not.
No, you're right.
As long as you're not the Jets or the Jaguars or the Texans, and your season's over, like, everyone still has a lot to play for. So, yeah.
Yeah, the NFL's a war of attrition, man. It's
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything changes week to week. I mean, all it takes to knock on wood is some quarter. I mean, the quarterback is the most important position in football. So, no shocker there. But if one goes down, your season's toast.
Look at Seattle.
Look at Seattle. Yeah, and I think Geno Smith played well because guess what? They who are they playing last week?
When they playing the Rams.
Rams. They didn't prepare for Geno Smith. Well, this week, guess who's preparing for him? It's Pittsburgh. So I think, I don't think
at Pittsburgh.
That's Pittsburgh. It's not going to be. I don't think so. Beat the world over like, oh hey, Geno Smith 2.0. No, he's who he is. If he was any good, he'd be starting already.
They are who we thought they were.
Exactly. Just every NFL changes from week to week, and the one thing that doesn't change.
It's one of the greatest things about it.
Yeah. The one thing that doesn't change week to week, unfortunately for Craig, is he doesn't still make good picks for his pick and pull.
Oh my God.
Just because you're on the first, just because you finally made it on the first stage.
This guy has like one good week. He has me beat by one, which, oh, by the way, Jay, when this game goes final and we're tied.
No, we're gonna get a backdoor cover here, buddy.
Yeah, that's cute. I'm pretty sure it's 6.5 though. So.
And you said that is the missed field goal.
Oh.
Ouch.
My hopes
down
the toilet.
You are one pathetic loser.
It's okay, Jay.
That's all right. All right. Well,
Yeah.
you can't pick them all, right?
All right. Well, let's move things on. Got a few teams to cover. No surprise here. With me? Yeah, who knows? All right, we'll start things off with the Vikings, and kind of lucky. I really going into this game. Minnesota was a huge favorite. They were the places where you look, depending where you looked at. I think they maybe went into that game as a 9-point favorite, and I really didn't like it. I don't see the Vikings really blowing any teams out. I know they handled Seattle earlier in the season, relatively well, which is kind of a shocker. But I thought the one thing that Minnesota had in their favor was that it was their third straight home game. Like, they've been at home for weeks. And I know they've kept it competitive, but man, the Vikings just about lost this game. And, they were able to put a late drive together, as time, as under a minute left in the game. They kicked a game-winning field goal to win. To put them at 2-3, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. Minnesota's like the okayest team in the NFL. Like, I'm not willing to say that they're trash and they're bad, but they're really not that good. So I know they have the weapons, but one thing that's not looking good for them, I don't know any further injury updates, but I know at least up in yesterday, I know Thielen, JJ, and Madison were all not practicing. So they're all up in the air, which makes me really feel not great that I chose Minnesota in our head-to-head, but it's okay. I will roll with it on that one. But as we look at preview, they're back on the road this week. They'll start it off in Carolina before they have their bye week next week. And I mean, I feel like I'm saying this every week, but if Minnesota is going to have to deeply have to win this game, because looking at their 3 games following the bye week, they're all 3 incredibly tough games. Start with the Cowboys on Sunday night at home, but then they go to Baltimore and LA to face the Chargers. So they have 3 games just out of the gauntlet after the bye week. So I don't really like their chances, regardless of this outcome in Carolina. I'm still going to say they win it just because I've been big on that. I've never been convinced that with Sam Darnold in Carolina, I think they've been exposed over the last couple of weeks, and we're starting to see a little bit of what they actually are. So it'd be nice to see Minnesota though at least get to 500 before the bye week. But yeah, I don't like their chances, and not to mention the fact that Green Bay keeps winning. Things aren't looking too great for Minnesota on that end. So, but we'll see. They got to take it one game at a time, and at least they'll have an extra week to prepare for the Cowboys. So we will see how that one goes. But we'll shift things over to the Raiders, and
Do we have to talk about them?
an ugly game. It was an ugly game. They had the Bears come in, and it was kind of that feeling of, all right, they started out 3-0. They went to LA. They went to face a really tough Chargers team. They kind of got hit in the mouth a little bit. And it was kind of like, okay, if they're going to be for real, this is the game to really bounce back and show it. And they didn't. They just weren't able to really get anything going. And it's going to be a huge image, I think. Really, I know there's a lot of off-field stuff, but I think one thing that I think a lot of Raider fans might have a still image of their head of the season, depending if it keeps going in this downhill direction it's been going the last couple of weeks, is going to be the Khalil Mack throwing up the O for Oakland after a sack he had on Derek Carr. So depending how you feel about that, whether it angers you, upsets you, anything like that, I think that's going to be a lasting image that's going to be in Raiders fans' heads, I think, depending on the rest of the season and how it plays out. So they travel over to Denver this weekend, and I don't like Denver very well. I think they were one of those 3-0 teams that I thought was an obvious pretender, and they have lost now. Denver's lost back-to-back games, the Ravens and the Steelers. And unfortunately for the Raiders, I just think that the off the field stuff is going to be a little bit too much of a distraction, and I don't think they get blown out. I think they'll find a way to keep this game close, but unfortunately I see them dropping to 500 after this one. I just think Denver's going to pull away with the victory, and it's unfortunate. It's another promising start for the Raiders, and it's probably going to be pretty much thrown to waste. So maybe they'll prove me wrong, but quite frankly, I'm kind of done talking about sour games. I want to get to a really good game, and this is a game that I was able to watch pretty much from start to finish, and that was Sunday Night Football last week, and the Buffalo Bills.
I know a lot of people on the East Coast weren't able to after that 2-hour delay.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills over at the Kansas City Chiefs, and yeah, the Bills, I was saying it that they needed to come out. This was a chance for them to come make a statement, and I think they did that to a T. The opening drive was a little bit little sketchy. They were able to get to third downs, but they kept taking penalties. Eventually led to a Kansas City field goal, but they were at least able to avoid that opening drive touchdown before they got the ball. But it was just a Josh Allen show. The Bills are just pretty much tearing up the Chiefs secondary. They're throwing balls down the field. Dawson Knox had a game.
Again.
Yeah, just another solid game. And they controlled the game, and that was huge for them. I think I know there was a lot of talk of, it was the passing of the torch. I think they need to hold it up just a little bit on that end. Because I still think there's a good chance these teams will face each other again in the playoffs. It's probably going to be in Buffalo, but yeah, the whole KC thing, I'm not ready to give up on the Chiefs. I think they have a guy like Mahomes, they're not out of it. So I think the Chiefs are going to find a way to bounce back and still find a way to the playoffs. But when it comes to the Bills, they have a really favorable schedule ahead of them. And I'm going to look at this really quick. So I'm pretty sure. So I know they kick things off. Actually, before I get into that, I will say, yeah, the one thing that was another thing that could have played into it was the fact that they had the extra long delay in halftime. I believe they said it was an hour and 15 minutes total delay with the thunderstorm. that went over Kansas City. So that was one of those, okay, well, could that affect the momentum of the game, anything like that? And the Bills were able to pretty much throw away any possible theory of that, as they were able to just continue. I don't know if I want to use the D word here.
That's what she said.
Dominate or destroy?
To dominate, yes, that correct. I'm glad that you knew what I was going with that one. But I mean, they controlled that game really most of it.
They did.
So
they dominated the whole game. Like, it wasn't really competitive.
So that offense continues to look good defensively. They're making plays, and this Bills team is going to be scary. Barring any injuries, one of my favorite plays though was definitely the Air Allen, as it's been getting called. A lot of pictures being thrown of Josh Allen as he sprinted and he jumped over a Chiefs defender to push for a first down, kind of like sort of in the middle of the fourth quarter, just to kind of really put the Chiefs away. So anyways, we look ahead to their schedule now. They will play Monday Night Football at Tennessee. Then they'll jump into their bye week. So hopefully get rested there. And the 3 games coming out of the bye week are the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and the Jets. So really, and even after that, I mean, it's the Colts, the Saints, the Patriots. It's really week 14. They play the Buccaneers. It's like, okay.
Sounds like the Bills have the exact same schedule as the Cowboys.
Yeah. So
have to play the Chiefs, have to play the Bucks.
So
but have weak division.
Yeah.
Breaking
news. Oh, hold on.
Oh, goddamn.
You already said it though. I already know it's coming.
Mookie Betts is 3 for 3, and the Dodgers are leading 1-0.
Yeah, I got a stolen base and then hit it in, right?
So I would just say that my last touch about the Bills though is in my opinion, I would say they are the favorites to come out of the AFC. I think you obviously would have to consider the Chargers and the Ravens, since they're both 4-1 as well as top threats. But I wouldn't put the Ravens up there with the Bills right now. I'd say the Chargers are probably the next best team. And then you can consider.
We're about to find out this week.
And then you can obviously consider the Browns, and even throw the Chiefs in there just because the fact that they are the Chiefs. And even though I think the book's kind of out on them a bit, but hey, you know what? The Chiefs are facing adversity now, so we'll see how they bounce back with that. But
look at who the Chiefs have lost to. They've lost to the Ravens. They've lost to the Bills. They've lost to the Chargers.
Yeah.
And who was the other team to beat them?
Those are only 3.
Right?
Yeah.
2-3. Like 3. So like they've had a tough schedule, and like people are like, oh my god, the Chiefs are done. It's like they played really good teams in the AFC and the Chiefs, they don't have a defense. Chris Jones is hurt. They don't have Honey Badger anymore. Like, that Chiefs defense is really bad. It's easily the worst defense under the Mahomes era, and you can't win Super Bowls with a bad defense. And this will be the Chiefs are going to the playoffs. They will be facing off against the Titans in the wild card weekend, because obviously the Titans will be the worst of the 3 division winners. So they'll be the 4, and the Chiefs will be the 5, and the Chiefs will go to Tennessee, and we'll see how Mahomes does when he gets on the road in the playoffs.
So just to be clear, that means you're saying that the Chiefs are not going to catch the Chargers for the AFC West title.
I think the Chargers I think the Chargers beat the Chiefs for the division.
Locked in.
If only somebody on this podcast predicted the Chargers have a good season this year.
Oh my god!
I don't know who that was.
I don't
know. Was that Reese?
My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's just
Where are we at in society today?
Let's just move things on.
Wow.
All right.
You're
this
a grown
weekend,
man.
I know we talked about the games that the teams we've covered are playing, but let's get into the exciting games. I feel like we're probably all on the same page for the most part on this one, but you know what? We're gonna do something a little different. It's 3 of us, so let's just talk about the obvious ones, and then we can talk and like the 2 obvious ones, and then if there's anything else we want to add. So we'll start off with the Chargers and the Ravens. They're both 4-1. I guess any feels you guys have for this game?
I again didn't pick them. I like the Chargers. Baltimore's on a short week. Yeah, they're still at home.
I want to say they're on a four game homestand too. I believe I heard that on the broadcast.
That's
weird. Four straight home games.
That's really weird. Like I said, been on the Chargers wagon for a while. They got talent on both sides of the ball. I'm gonna roll with them. I think they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers in the pick'em, but I am taking the Ravens to win. It will be a Justin Tucker field goal to win the game, either in overtime or at the end of regulation. So I have Ravens winning by 3, but Chargers do cover the 3.5.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a tough prediction, really, either way. I just think that you have two. I mean, the Chargers, Justin Herbert is obviously the exciting player to watch. It's exciting offenses all around. Justin Herbert's got weapons with Allen and Williams, and Lamar Jackson. We already know what he can do with his legs, and I believe with his arm, he's had some very impressive numbers with the arm as well. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see. I like this game a lot.
Tie game.
Tie game.
Tie game.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Darren Ruff.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna go. I think this is a tough one for sure. I really could see it obviously going either way, but I think right now the Chargers are a better team from what I've seen. So with that being said, I like the Chargers with the points, but I think I like the Chargers to win this outright. But I could definitely see exactly what John said though. This could come to a late game, maybe winning field goal with Tucker. But we'll see how it goes with that one. All right, the next game. That's the Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. This is one of the afternoon slate.
I think Oscar just heard the home run because he went, yeah.
The funny part about not to get sidetracked, but Darren Ruff has hit like 2 bombs to right center, and they were both outs. And now he hits a bomb to center.
Yep.
Like how that happens.
Yep.
But yeah, so guys, Arizona, Cleveland. What do you guys maybe like about this game?
I like that Cleveland's at home. It's gonna be a really good game. But Chandler Jones, you can argue the best defensive player on the Cardinals. He's out with COVID. The Cardinals are dealing with COVID right now. And now they go, West Coast team go into the Browns. Luckily for them, it's not an early game. It is an afternoon game, but I feel like this is a bounce back game for the Browns after losing the heartbreak fashion to the Chargers.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tight game. I'm gonna lean Browns. I think the home team with the crowd. Kyler Murray's not 100%. I don't think. Like John said, Chandler Jones is out. I think a lot's going into Baker Mayfield is not 100% either, but what are the Browns going to do?
Didn't look like it was affecting him too bad.
No.
This past weekend,
they got to get Beckham more targets. I think he's only had like 3 targets the last few games. But
yeah.
They need to trade Beckham. Him and
who's going to give up anything right now for him?
But they're not getting anything from him. Like there will be a team out there who would take him. I still think he's a top receiver in the whole league. I just don't think he fits with Baker. I don't think Baker, their styles mix. Like you have Baker throwing to Rashard Higgins and Peoples-Jones over and Njoku, and you have OBJ right there. Like no Landry. Like why are you not throwing the ball to him? And I don't know. Maybe it's just Baker doesn't trust him or something.
Especially with Jarvis Landry out.
Oh my God.
Like, are you okay?
Why did Philadelphia go for 2?
I don't know why.
But the over under was 6.5. They went for 2 and got it. So now they're covering instead of just kicking the field goal and being down by 7.
Oh my God.
That is bullshit.
Backdoor cover, baby. Woo!
Why did they go for 2? They could have just kicked the field goal and be. Oh my God. Come on, Tampa Bay. That is bullshit.
The coach is
rigged.
The coach is in on the money.
Yeah, I'm like, what is
this? This shit's rigged.
That's ridiculous.
Woo! Did I
This
not
shit's
call it earlier on the
rigged.
pod? I said backdoor cover, baby. Here it is.
This shit's
God.
rigged.
Anyways, yeah, I just think this is I think Arizona this is a tough matchup for him. I really like what the Cardinals got going for him. But yeah, obviously Kyler Murray being hurt, not 100%. Chandler Jones being out, that's obviously not going to help. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take anything away from Arizona, but some of the wins they've had, it's not like they've done it in complete control. I mean, even the Niner game, that game was close. I mean, the Niners were never really out of that game. And look at that game, the one in Jacksonville. I mean, at the end of the first half, it was not looking like Arizona was even going to win that game. But then they had the good old flea flicker, Trevor Lawrence interception, pick six. And that really changed the whole momentum of the game. So I think they're big. Obviously, they had the convincing victories in Tennessee and one against the Rams as well, which I think was huge for the Rams because ever since Cliff Kingsbury has been the coach there, McVay has owned him, and Arizona went into LA and absolutely pretty much dominated that game. So I just think Arizona, it's not, I don't see them obviously, winning out. And I feel like this is the week that I think it's going to happen. I'm very much on the side that I think they're finally getting their first loss. We won't have any more undefeated teams left, but it's going to be an exciting game.
For sure.
And I think Cleveland is ready. And I know Cleveland obviously lost that heartbreaker, but I think Cleveland wants to reestablish themselves of, kind of reminding everybody that they are still there. So, and it'd be one way to do it, to knock out the undefeated team, the last one that's left. So yeah, exciting game for sure. But I guess anything else, any other games that stick out for you guys other than those two?
Let me take a look really quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a glance too.
I mean, the Chiefs going up to Washington.
Meh.
Yeah.
A Chiefs get it. Well, the biggest question is Tyreek Hill hasn't practiced all week, and Travis Kelce is questionable due to an undisclosed injury, and they lost Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Darrell Williams will be starting, and with Jerick McKinnon, those will be the running back tandem. Like,
I guess he's right.
It's a get right game, especially after your loss to the Bills. Like, they're going to want to come out and win, but there's a lot of health issues with the Chiefs. Who knows? I mean, that's a trap game.
Maybe.
Washington. That's the only reason I would say that. It feels like Arrowhead.
If
It is. I know it's not called Arrowhead anymore.
If the Steelers happen to beat the Seahawks this week, which they might be favored to, I don't know the odds.
Steelers are favored.
Steelers are favored. They can get back into that division. That division's tough. I mean, you got the Bengals on the up. We just talked about the Browns.
I don't think the Steelers have a chance, not with Cleveland and Baltimore there.
I don't feel like they match up with any of the three teams. I think all three teams are better than them.
Probably, yeah. You know what? They're kind of like microcosms. They're the same team, basically, in different divisions. They're in a loaded division, both of them. Yeah, but other than that, there's not much else for me as far as game wise. No.
Two heavyweights.
I mean, it's always fun to see. It's always fun to see Green Bay versus Chicago. You got Justin Fields' first game against Aaron Rodgers. That's gonna be an interesting game. Like, there's just, like me and Craig were talking about during the Cohooney the guest the spread. There's really nothing like
nice play.
Games that stand out. Like those, there's one game at the 1 p.m. time slot Eastern, and one during the 4 p.m. Eastern time slot. Like those there's two games to watch, and everyone's gonna be watching those games. But at the same time, we're gonna be watching Red Zone, and there's still gonna be some fun games out there to keep an eye on.
Yeah, because
baby,
you watch the game, and you have some rooting interest in it, especially with our pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's fun. It's for sure. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. An exciting
and the London Jags get their first win of the season.
Okay. Well, and we're off to Cincinnati. All right. We're going to turn our attention elsewhere because Cahoon, it's going to you. It is the Cohooney 5 plus the bowling recap for you as well. So Cohooney, go ahead, give us your recap of how last week played out, and just take it away.
Yeah, so start off with the bowling recap. It was a frustrating night. Like, I felt like I threw the ball better than I've thrown all season, and like it's only 4 or 5 weeks in. Like, I was throwing the ball really well, it's just I was getting just very unlucky because like I didn't have much room for error, and I was just, the first game I left like 3 splits. I just couldn't get that 2 in a row to make up for the split. Shot 170 something, but then the second game I came back and I shot 220. That's my highest game so far this season. But then the last game, once again, like I just too many splits. If I just missed a tiny bit, even though my ball, like it was just, that was leaving a lot. The funny part is I picked up all my spares, like regular spares. It was just a lot of splits, and it was just frustrating. So I think I shot like 160 something the last game.
169, maybe.
Hey, it could have been. Hey, it honestly could have been. But the good part is we won all 4. We won all 4 points. The other team, they were struggling a little bit, and my other 2 teammates, they were both just having decent nights, bowled over their average all 3 games. So yeah, another 4-0 week, and we'll see if I can get my head out of my ass. Funny part is, I'm averaging my book is 184 coming into the season, and after 4 weeks, it was still at 184. And then after these 3 games, even though 2 of the games were bad, I averaged 188. So I've just been very consistent. I'm not shooting. I'm either shooting, if I shoot like 20 pins under, I shoot 20 pins over the next game or something like that. It's pretty crazy. But to go to my Cohooney 5, back-to-back bad weeks. It's so funny. I for quite a while I didn't run into any of these no decisions or withdrawals. And once again, I had another fighter had dropped out after we did our podcast. Phil Hawes, he had to drop out. So I got a no decision there. And then I got a win with Randy Brown, but Tim Elliott, Sabino Mazzo, and Mackenzie Dern, they all lost. It was a really bad card. And the funny part was, like, everything, all my other prelim picks were really good. And then the Sabino Mazzo fight happened, and like the next 4 fights were all run for me. I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, I went all the way from here to there. So
that's what she said.
I got another fight night coming up this week. It is another absolutely disgusting card. It was supposed to be headlined by Holly Holm versus Norma Dumont, but Holly Holm had to drop out, and this was the frustrating part. So Aspen Ladd, who could not make weight against Macy Chason and had to drop out because she could not make weight in the bantamweight division, is now getting rewarded with a main event in the featherweight division, which is really pissing me off because I don't understand how you, as someone who cannot make weight constantly, you're going to reward her with a main event position. But
What?
yes, so this main event is Norma Dumont versus Aspen Ladd. Luckily for us, this is not on TV. This is ESPN Plus. You have to have a subscription to watch it, and I don't really know if I'm going to watch it, but I am still going to bet it because there are some good fights. But that main event, no, it's not. It's a boring main event. But to start off the main card, it is Julian Marquez over Jordan Wright. I do like Jordan Wright, but this is a bad matchup. Julian Marquez can outclass him both on the feet and on the ground. And then next up, we got a really good up-and-coming flyweight. And the crazy part is she is built. Like, you look at her and you're like, how the hell do you make flyweight? And then you look at Aspen Ladd standing next to her and they're like, how can you not make bantamweight? So it's hilarious. But yeah, Manfredo, this is a girl to keep your eye on in the flyweight division. She is going to continue her knockout streak, and she's going to get either a first or second round knockout here of Mayra Bueno Silva. Next up, we got Jim Miller versus Eric Gonzalez. This is a really close fight. I'm going to go with the favorite, Jim Miller, but it's a really coin flip fight, but I am going to go with the favorite. Next up is a coin flip fight. This is a straight pick'em. We got Carlos Felipe versus Andrei Arlovsky. Arlovsky is just as old as Jason. He is very, very old. I am surprised he's still fighting. The guy has over The guy has over 50 fights in his career, and he's facing off against Carlos Felipe, who's 11-1 so far in his UFC career. So it's a total young versus old, and I can't go with Jason. I think I gotta go with Carlos Felipe. I think I gotta go with the youngster. So I'm gonna go Carlos Felipe over Orlovsky. We'll see if Jason can even walk to the octagon when this fight happens. And then the last fight is the main event. It's Aspen Ladd versus Norma Dumont. I'm gonna go with the fighter who's actually been waiting for this fight. She's actually been training in Norma Dumont, and I really hope she kicks Aspen Ladd's ass because I'm really tired of seeing that girl. So to make what?
The Bucks are on the goal line, and they're in victory formation. Backdoor cover.
You gotta be kidding me.
My team sucks.
Wow.
I'm here for it.
Really? All right. Well, to recap, my Cohooney 5, I'm going with Julian Marquez, Manon Ferrio, Jim Miller, Carlos Felipe, and Norma Dumont. That is bullshit.
Craig, are you okay over there? What's going on?
This is just the shit luck that I've had.
For Twitter's pissed. Twitter and Twitch and Discord are all pissed right now.
Oh hell no!
Like
This is ridiculous.
that going for 2 didn't even make any sense. Like you kick the field goal there, and if you want to go for 2, you go for 2 when you have a chance. Because they missed that, it's over. Like they're down by 9. Like that made no fucking sense.
Yeah, you feel good about that?
You like that?
It's pathetic. You know what?
Run that guy.
Get his ass out of here. I'm sorry, Kun. I got so lost. Are you done with your segment here?
Yeah. Fuck
All right.
Vegas.
All right. Well, that wraps up for Cohooney 5 for this week.
And that's not even hockey, but yes,
It's-
it's hockey as well. We haven't talked any bit of hockey. Fuck the Vegas hockey team as well. Okay, later.
Let's relax.
All right, calm down.
All right. Well, Cohooney 5, that's one of our weekly segments. You'll get that every single week on here. So we transition now over to the softball diamonds. A few games to recap over the past week. We'll start things off last week on Friday night. Pitches and Brews 2-0 going up against Bad News Beers, which, by the way, I knew this team had no call, no show the week before, but I believe they actually no call, no showed the first 2 games. So we were lucky that they showed up. And let's just say we hit early, we hit often, and we put a lot of crooked numbers, and we ended up taking that thing down 23-5. So we handled that with relative ease. So that was it was good. I mean, we're off to 3-0 start in an 8-game season, which is good. The one unfortunate side, there's one other team that's left undefeated, and that would be Alicia's team, Too Sweet, and we play against them this week. And so let's just hope we keep it close. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for.
You're funny. That was too sweet.
Okay.
Oh,
Daddy, chill.
Okay. Yeah, you're done.
You can be like their team's gonna throw the ball and Alicia's gonna hit it, and you're gonna be like, "Ooh, that was too sweet. Bye bye. Hold on." And Craig loses.
I think we should maybe just call the show now. I think we're done, right? Like,
Where are we at in society today?
we don't need to continue
I'm
going.
trying to make up for Ben. Give me a break.
Okay.
I say he's an idiot.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, 3-0. We play tomorrow night, and we'll be 3-1 after tomorrow. But I hope we have fun. Then we shift things over to Mondays, as that's another team that we improved to 3-0. Just another matchup. We went up against a kind of a beginner team, and one of our, I think that's been kind of a little bit of a theme as of late, with at least with Hayward, is I feel like the offense doesn't necessarily come out early, but once the bats get going, it's trouble for the other team. But yeah, we didn't struggle to hit with the bats this time around. Same thing with Friday. We hit early, we hit often. Defensively, we gave up 1 run right at the end of the game on like a fielder's choice Basically, runner at third with one out, ground ball back to me at pitcher, and through the first base. And we ended up handling that game, with ease. I think it was 22-1 was the final score there. So we improved to 3-0. We have 3 games left on the Monday schedule, and they'll be against tough teams. We have a championship game rematch this upcoming Monday against the Rejects, who are 2-0. So they'll be looking. They got a target on our back. They'll be looking to get some revenge on us there. Then we got games against Life West and Dark Horse Lounge to wrap up the season before we get to playoffs. So exciting games the rest of the way there. See how we finish it out and see how that plays out. Shifting things over to Tuesdays, over to Sweet. Again, another game. Just sadly, the competition isn't really there. Went up against Burners, and man, I don't even know what the score of that one game was. 17-4, something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but just a controllable game, start to finish. Not a whole lot of content I can really give you on that one. We had some guys hitting left-handed right from the very get-go of the game. So, and they're guys that can hit the ball left-hand, right-handed. So that's all I can really, really want to provide really with that one. Then Wednesday. So last night, went up against Pitchmakers. Wednesday is going to be a tough one. I think we knew that maybe going into the season, knew that after our first game last week, and we definitely know it after last night. We ended up against our old foe Pitchmakers, and we really get off to a good start. We put up 5 runs in the first inning. I want to say we went into the bottom of the third, up 5-2, but then their bats woke up. They're hitting the ball everywhere. They put up like 12 runs in one inning, and the offense really for our end just really never kind of seemed to get back going. They're defensively, they make plays. So we ended up losing, I think 19-7, I believe the final was, in I think 5 innings. So unfortunate. It's the game essentially ended up getting called for the mercy rule, as it was a 12 run. They ended up getting the 12th run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th with like a minute left in the clock. So if we would have got an out, we would have had another inning, at least one more at bat. So it was kind of like a role reversal. I guess we've been kind of on the fortunate side, where we've been on the opposite end of, these games that have been called to the mercy rule. As much as I think we all would agree, we prefer closer competitive games down to the wire over anything like that, whether you're on the good side of it or the bad side of it. But it's obviously a lot funner when you're on the winning side of it. So just kind of like an unfortunate game for us. I think we probably deserved a better outcome, but when you face a good team like that, they're going to hit. And it's not like we did a whole lot of things wrong. I mean, we had maybe a couple slip ups here and there, but it wasn't like a slip up and it cost us an out. It was mostly just like, okay, they got an extra base because of it. So unfortunate. Hopefully we'll be able to bounce back. We play against Hot Pit Photo this upcoming Wednesday. And the one bright side is that they're spotting 7 runs. So hopefully that'll do us some favors there. But yeah, so overall, I guess that's a 3-1 week. So not too bad. I guess, guys, if there's any input you have on any games of any night, anything you guys have there, I guess, Jay, you can only really provide for Mondays. And I guess, Cahoon, if there's anything you want to add for Wednesdays, is there anything there?
Quit it. Move on.
All right, Jay, up to you. I guess anything you want to throw in for, I guess both nights, if you'd like.
Yeah, you got Mondays. It's a lot of fun. Schedule gets a little bit tougher now. Like you said, we got a target on our back, and gotta be ready to come play and hit. We gotta get the bats going from the jump. Somebody gotta wake them up early.
Yep. Throw the bats around.
Throw the bats around a little bit early. Wake them up. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun with this team. It's getting a little colder at night, so these old bones are getting a little chilly. But by and large, good competition on Mondays and on Wednesdays too. It's just I think on Wednesdays for us to win, we really have to play top-notch game and hit from the jump, or else we're in trouble. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's either way, it's fun, no matter what. So we're having a good time. So and the reality is that on Wednesdays specifically, we were in essentially what would be considered the lower division last league. We ended up winning. We got bumped up because of it. I mean, we were one swing away from winning the first game, And like I said last night, it really just came down to we faced a really solid team that was hitting from top to bottom. And there's not a whole lot you can really do when teams are hitting. I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes, the way the cards come out. So, but yep, we'll have more update next week. We got games on all 4 of those nights to go over for next week. So, all right, Jay, we're gonna stick things onto you. Last week it took some time off, but it is back.
Get off my lawn!
Jason, something is bothering you, and it might even be, well, I guess we've talked about it. It's one thing that could lead to another one. So, Jay, take it away, my friend. What is grinding your gears?
All right, so we talked about it, or I don't know if we touched on that now. John Gruden resigned from the Las Vegas Raiders for some emails that came out from 10 years ago. You know, he hit the trifecta of saying, you know, hitting areas that I just don't condone with. And to be honest, yes, he should have been replaced. The part of this, though, that why he's getting replaced and resigned is because it's part of a Washington football team internal investigation with emails. The fact that Dan Snyder still owns the team after all of this, owners have been told to sell for less. Like the amount of things that have gone on in that organization with the cheerleaders and now these emails and just top to bottom, it's been a joke, to be honest. Leads me to there's going to be more coming out in the future. I think Gruden was maybe the fall guy, so to speak. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot coming out, maybe even owners, emails going back and forth. And part of this, there's 600,000 emails. There's going to be some stuff brought up that will be shown to the public eventually, maybe not anytime soon. It's going to be a shitstorm, and the NFL is trying to cover their ass, and I think John Gruden was the fall guy. Having said that, the Washington football team is in a change of a marketing scheme. They're changing the football team name apparently next year. And I don't know if you guys caught it today, but they decided, hey, we're going to retire Sean Taylor's number this coming Sunday. I don't know, it's Sean Taylor's before you guys' time, but he was a badass safety for the Washington, at the time, Redskins. Look him up on YouTube. I mean, he knocks the shit out of a punter on a Pro Bowl, lit him up. The punter goes over and congratulates him because it was a hell of a hit. The guy was a badass. Unfortunately, he died at a very young age, and they're going to honor him this weekend. Given the fan base, 3 days notice? What happens if you've already sold your tickets for this weekend's game and you're a Sean Taylor fan? You're shit out of luck. It's a bad look all around, and I think Washington's just trying to be like a distraction. Oh, hey, we're going to show Sean Taylor over here to distract you from the fact that we got this investigation going on over here. It's the organization from top to bottom is just a shit show. Unfortunately, Gruden, I'm not again condoning what he said. He's the fall guy. He shouldn't have said what he said. He shouldn't have put it on paper. He got the brunt of it. I just hope that he's not the scapegoat, and anything else that's brought up, release all the emails so that we can see what the league is dealing with. Make it fair for everybody. If there's a particular owner for a particular NFL team that's, quote unquote racist or bigotry or like that, the NFL and the fans should know about it. That way, those fans have the choice to say, hey, I don't want to spend any more money with this guy, and let them make that decision. I just feel like it was again, I'm not saying Mark Davis is a weak owner, but it might be just, let's pick on Gruden and they'll take it from there.
It's the John Gruden stuff is the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
It's somebody who has access to all these emails and wanted Gruden out. Yeah. And while I don't condone what he said about Michael Sam. I don't condone what he said about the player on the Chiefs who should be blackballed for kneeling for the anthem. Those two things rubbed me the wrong way. The whole lips like a Michelin man, for me, I'm not that color. It's never going to affect me like it would affect someone else. It's the other two things. It's trying to get someone removed from the league because he's kneeling, and it's the whole Michael Sam calling him a I'm not going to say it, but calling him what he said. Like, those are the two things I can't condone. But at the same time, this is somebody who has access and saw, oh, you're not going to resign because of the other thing that the way you said about the Michelin Man tires. Okay, well, now here's this. Are you going to resign? Because if not, I'm going to do something else. Like, there's this guy wanted Gruden out. Whoever has access, and he got what he wanted. So that's what I don't like. Like, stop just making it premeditated and you're trying to attack one person. You have all these emails. What if there's something from what are you protecting someone? Is there emails about from Dan Snyder or someone else and you're protecting them and you only want to go for Gruden because you don't like Gruden? Like, that's what I don't understand. Why did he target why did they target Gruden? What was the reason why they only are releasing this to the New York Times? Like, why are you not releasing everything? That's what I don't understand about the story. Gruden, for what he said back in 2010 and 2014, deserved to, resign or be fired for what he said. I completely agree with that. But the whole how it happened, it rubs me the wrong way. Like, it's just not. He's protecting someone. Whoever has access is protecting someone. If it's Dan Snyder, that's a really bad look. But the whole Sean Taylor situation, the Washington organization can come out and say, "Oh, we've been planning this for weeks and months." Like, then why weren't you hyping it up? Yeah. It is easily your most popular, besides the quarterback. I can't remember his name right now. Way before my time. Sean Taylor is one of the most beloved. I'm going to say it, most beloved Redskins player, because he was a player for the Redskins, not for the football team. Most beloved Redskins player of all time. And you're only going to give fans 3 days notice? Like, that's just, they're hiding something. It really grinds my gears.
I think the league
is
hiding something. The league sent the emails to Mark Davis to handle it because they don't want to handle it because I'm sure they know, oh, we got some more stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, it's like the whole John Gruden calling Roger Goodell a P word when he's not even part of the NFL. Like, who cares? Everyone's called Goodell that. I bet you Jerry Jones has called him that for once. Like, people say that. That doesn't grind me. But then, like, another thing, Adam Schefter. There was a leak where Adam Schefter sent the guy his whole article and was like, "Is there anything you want me to change in this article?" And now people are coming after Adam Schefter for his integrity as a journalist, and he's not really a journalist in my opinion. He's an insider for the NFL. He's the NFL's mouthpiece. But that was a bad look too. Now a lot of people are going after him for his integrity, and there's a humongous shitstorm that's coming soon, and this is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like there's more coming. So it's crazy, really crazy stuff. But all right, boys, that wraps it up for the Get Off My Lawn segment for this week. As now we can turn our attention over to another one of our weekly segments. We have something we always do kind of towards the end of the show. It is the Hit It.
Yeah, now I forgot mine after that rant.
It is our Hit It or Quit It segment. And really, it's how it goes is pretty simple. We all kind of just take turns throwing a question out to everyone, and we all just take our turn just deciding if we're hitting it or we're quitting it. So fellas, only 3 of us today, so we might get 3, might get 4 questions. Who gets an extra one, we'll see how it goes. But boys, any of you guys want to start things off?
I'll go.
All right, Jay.
I got a funny one to end on, but I'm trying to remember the other one. I had another one, but I forgot.
I already have this feeling. I have an idea where you're going with it, but we'll get there.
Right. I'll go last. I can't remember my other one.
Jay, go ahead and start off.
Okay, we kind of touched on it with the basketball. And then Kyrie Irving not, kind of being shut out from the city because he refuses to take the vaccine. don't need any more content to that. I think we all know what's going on there. My question to you guys is: either quit it, will Kyrie Irving be traded this season?
Yeah, I'll go first. I am going to hit it. I believe Kyrie Irving will get traded. I think the Nets have already been clear, like, go home. We don't want you here. And now they're looking for a trade option and exploring, what they can do, because I think, this isn't Clay, and this isn't KD and Harden going to go see him and be like, try to bring him back. Like, they're done. Like, you don't want to be here. You sat out games last year for whatever reason. He didn't want to play. And now this year he's doing what he's doing. He wants to be a voice of the voiceless, whatever. He's going to get traded. The Nets are done with him. So yes, I'm going to hit it.
Yep.
Well, considering I don't really follow basketball very well, as you guys would know, because I didn't really have anything to input on the NBA preview that we had earlier in the show. John did a really good job breaking it down, so I am going to hit it as well. John brought up a lot of really good points, and therefore I am rocking with him. I'm going to hit it.
Oh, very, very nice, very nice. I'm going to hit it as well. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother, Chris Stu. He brought up a good point. He's like, at this point in time, what John said last year, quitting, not quitting, but not playing last year for a few games, whatever. At this point, just quit the NBA and become an activist for people, doing whatever it is that you believe in. Just become an activist. And I do think at some point, like John said, the Nets have told him, we don't want you around here playing half the games. You got to be committed one way or another. And if you're not, then don't come around. And I think it's very possible that maybe not a Ben Simmons type trade, but they're going to try to look to move him. And I think based on the press conference that you saw yesterday with James Harden, they're frustrated. It feels like he's not committed to them. I mean, James Harden basically
Run that guy.
Has to basically go to Brooklyn to play with him, and now it's like, hey, dude, what are we doing? So, I mean, everybody has their beliefs and everything else like that. It's his personal decision. But, at certain times you need to – maybe he's gambling on the fact that he's thinking that New York will stop the city mandate. Maybe that's his thing. I don't know, but
Good luck.
I'm gonna hit it with that. Hit it. So
He's better off getting traded to the Mavericks for the unicorn. There won't be a mandate in Texas.
True. Or Miami.
All right.
But who are they going to trade? Jimmy? They're not going to trade Jimmy.
You're not going to trade Kyrie for Porzingis.
I mean, the Mavericks are done with Porzingis. They're trying to look for a trade area, but
they're gonna have to
I understand. I understand that. I'm not saying they're going to. I'm just saying he's better off like
in
doing
Dallas.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. My next.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to take this a little baseball here. I kind of wanted to do this last week, but we had a lot of hit or quit questions, so I decided I was going to hold it on to this week. And this has to do with the Padres. So they did end up firing Jace Tingler after the regular
season. I remember my question.
And Jace Tingler was fired at the end of the season. And, there's a lot of question of already who are the Padres going to look to get. I mean, the Padres have talent on this team. And one guy that's been thrown around is Giants fan knows him well. It's Bruce Bochy. So my question to you guys is, hit it or quit it. Bruce Bochy will be the next manager of the San Diego Padres.
Go ahead.
It's tough because I haven't really looked in to see who or like other names. I just know Bochy's linked to it. But we now know that the Cardinals manager shut up
is available.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really difficult without doing any research to see if there's any other names linked to the Padres besides Bochy, but so far I know that's the biggest name linked to it. So without doing any humongous research, I will say hit it just because Bochy is a big name manager, and if he wants to come back, that's a good job to come back to. You get Tatis and You get Machado, and hopefully they can fix the relationship.
Jay?
I'm gonna hit it. He lives down in San Diego. He has a house down there. I mean, like I said, you're gonna get what other opportunities are you're gonna get where you get a ready-made Tatis, Machado, Mookie Betts. My God, that guy just tangent. He just hits. He's got a good talented team. The only person I've heard that may have a chance is Dodgers pitching coach Mark Pryor. They might be looking at as well. I mean, Bochy, from what accounts, as a players manager. How well will him and Machado and Tatis, get along? Bochy's kind of old school though. Does he like the flamboyant stuff? I don't know.
Just don't be a LaRusso.
Right. Yeah. So I'll hit it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to follow suit on this one. I think I'll hit it as well. And I think you brought up a good point. The fact that he lives in San Diego. I know there has been interviews that Bochy's had, and they've kind of asked him whether, is it? Is he done? And he's kind of left the door open that he's not opposed to coming back. I think if it's the right fit. And I think if there's any right fit for Bochy, it is the Padres. And exactly what you said. This is a ready-made team right now that I think, they had some guys that really fell off really the back half of the year. I mean, Hugh Darvish is just one guy to think of. I mean, God, that guy was awful the back half. So there's tons of talent. And just like you said, they have a guy like Tatis, they have Machado, they have guys throughout the lineup that are there. They are still a team that could be right back in the thick of things next year. And I think you look back to the Jace Tingler hiring, and that was already a question of like, whoa, I don't know about this one. And I think the Padres need to make the right move in who they hire for this job. They need to find someone who's established, who's shown that he can win at the managerial level. And I'm not ruling out, and I'm not saying that there's anybody else out there right now because I don't know of any other names as well that are linked to the idea or possibility. But Bruce Bochy is probably the most proven coach that is available, if in fact he is available. So with that being said, I think just based on the idea that it would be exciting to see him come back as well. So therefore, I am going to hit it as well, clean sweep all the way around.
And just to throw something else really quick, I don't know if you missed it, but the Dodgers are still going to be pretty good. The Giants are
yeah, absolutely.
So you better hire somebody that's going to compete with these two teams.
Yep.
They're no joke. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right, John.
Yeah. Okay. So Craig reminded me of my question once he's brought up coaches being fired. Like he quickly brought up the St. Louis Cardinals fired their head coach, I believe, yesterday, after the Cardinals went on a 17-game win streak and got that second wildcard spot and took the Dodgers to the break. I mean, it took a walk-off 2-run home run by Chris Taylor to knock them off, and yet you're still fired. I didn't understand the move. It really kind of bugged me the wrong way. I'm like, what else was the guy supposed to do? Like he had a fantastic season with what he was given. Their top Jack Flaherty was out for the whole season. Like, so hit it or quit it. The Cardinals messed up firing their manager. Or hit it or quit it. The Cardinals made the right failed. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Like what my question would be is, if we hit it, are we saying they made the right move or the wrong?
Yeah, let's do that one. Hit it or quit it. The Cardinals made the right move firing the head coach.
I think it's hard to say because I think if they bring in a guy, whoever they bring in, Joe Schmo in for next year, and the Cardinals stink, then we're gonna say, yeah, that was a crappy move that they got rid of the head coach. We really should get his name, by the way.
I think is his name.
What was it?
I struggle saying his last name.
Mike Schultz, I think.
Schultz or whatever. Schultz. But it goes way around. If they hire Joe Schmo and they make it to the National League Championship Series. Like, wow, it's a really good, really great move that they did. So I think just based off the fact, it seems kind of like crazy because, yeah, the Cardinals, they put that 17-game win streak. They kind of came on over. The whole talk was it was going to be, you know, the Padres making the second wild card. And then it was like, oh, well, now it'll be the Reds or possibly, you know, whatever. And then it was all Cardinals. They ran away with that. And they really did. They took the Dodgers to the brink. It took a walk-off home run, exactly how you said it. So I know I gave out the whole play out of, well, if they do good next year, blah, blah, blah. I just think based on the fact that they did what they did, it seems kind of like a bad beat for this guy to get fired. So I think based on where we're at right now with the knowledge that we have, I'll just go ahead and say quit it. I would say I don't think they made the right move.
I'm going to quit it as well. And the only analogy I have kind of in the same vein is when the Warriors fired Mark Jackson and brought in Steve Kerr. Leads me to believe that they said it was flawless philosophical differences or something. I wonder if they know that somebody's going to get fired that they want to bring in backdoor channels or something. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense. The team played hard, like you guys have covered it, went on a run for the ages, and now what do you got to show for it? You got your pink slip and paper sent, and you're no longer needed. It just doesn't make sense. I hope they ran it by Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright, the two long veterans of the Cardinals, and said, hey, give me your input here. What's going on? Because you don't want them to be blindsided either, especially if he's a player's manager and you know what the hell's going on. Now that they signed up to come back for their swan song, not the best look. I'm going to quit it as well.
Yeah, and Yadier already announced next year is his swan song. So, and they're hitting. You look at that lineup. You could argue with that lineup, you were supposed to do a lot better. You were supposed to challenge for the division. You could argue that, but like I said, they didn't have the best pitcher of Flaherty all season. Mikolas, he fell off. Wainwright had an amazing resurgence. That was amazing to see. But then you got J.A. Kraft in your rotation as well. Like, what are you expecting rotation-wise? So I'm going to quit it. I don't understand. Like, what was the owner? What was the GM, the president, the owner, whoever made the option to fire him? What were they expecting from the Cardinals this year? Because I know Craig picked the Cardinals to win the division, but in my opinion, I thought the Cardinals were easily number 3 or 4 on the in that league. I thought they were behind the Reds, and I thought they were behind the Brewers easily. And
it's funny you remember that I picked them to win the division. Do you remember what I said when I picked them to win that division?
No, I don't.
I was so uninterested in that division. I literally said, Nolan Arenado, give me the Cardinals. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, that division is really bad. I mean, at least it's not the AL Central, but it's bad. Yeah, I quit it because it's like they must be thinking they're gonna bring in somebody, and that guy's just gonna change the whole pitching rotation around, and it's gonna be better next season because whoever comes in, they're getting up. It's like Dusty Baker coming in and saying that Dusty Baker has everything to do about the Astros' success. It's like, no, this offense was already the offense it was before you got there. This offense is still going to be amazing next year.
The talent was already set in Houston, man. I mean, you know, if Craig can manage that team and they'd be all right. Like,
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Does anyone else have one? Because I have a funny one to do.
No, go for it. I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for it.
All right. Well, for those who were following last week's show, we did announce that this week was supposed to be our NHL preview show, but our NHL guru was not on the program this week. He had to miss the show, but Ben will be back on the show next week, so we will be doing our NHL preview next week. But my question for over-under for you guys is, over-under, Ben talks for the NHL preview show 15 minutes by himself.
Oh,
hit or quit it. Over 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm taking the over all day. I think it's my
You know what I gotta say to that one?
That's a clown question, bro.
Yeah, I'm hitting it. It's going over for sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Move
I
on.
figured I would go like a half an hour, but I figure after like 15 minutes he would stop and he would have to go make a vodka Red Bull real quick
He'll
and
talk
something
15
like that.
Let's talk 15 minutes about the Ducks alone.
Hey, is it?
Yeah.
Hey, the question is though. Another thing we can do. Is it the lock? Is it a lock of the week?
Oh hell yeah,
Oh, hell
easy
yes.
lock.
Locked in.
That's like a prison bet. Prison bet right there, man.
Did you say prison bitch or prison bet?
Yeah, he said prison
Bet.
bitch the first time. It's on the
Did I?
tape. It's on the
Oh
tape.
man, you guys need to clip that.
Prison bitch, prison bet. Thanks.
Prison bitch. Oh, we're speaking of bed, huh?
Where are we at in society today?
I don't know.
All right, let's go.
All right, that wrapped it up.
Yep.
I wrapped it up.
All right, that concludes Hit It or Quit It for this week, as we are about to put a bow on her, put her to bed, but something
Put her
that
to
we
bed.
always,
her to
something
bed?
that we always do. I don't hear you. I'm talking. I can't hear what you're saying, and
Man,
I'm
what are you saying?
kind of happy. I'm kind of happy
Daddy, chill.
that I'm not hearing it. So, anyways, as I was saying, was that something that we always do before we say goodnight, and that is our shout outs. We like to do just at the end of the show. It can go from anywhere from people that we know, viewers, restaurants, businesses, anything we know of. It goes all over the place. So with that being said, boys, what do you got on the docket tonight?
I am going to I'm going to shout out an NHL team. I'm going to shout out the Seattle Krakens. They got their very first ever first ever franchise win tonight in Nashville. So going to shout them out. And I'm also going to shout out the two Sharks goats, Ryan Donato and Jonas Donskoy. They both contributed in their loss against Vegas earlier in the first game of their franchise history. But yep, Seattle, the NHL has 32 teams now. It feels weird.
All right, John, or sorry, Jay, you want to go last? Yeah.
Oh, I can go. Yeah, I go last. Go ahead.
Okay. See a couple teams.
And
Want to shout out
to the Starbucks Wi-Fi.
Starbucks Wi-Fi is terrific. I tell you what.
I would say, yeah, it's nice freeze frame right now. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Looks like you just smelled a Craig's fart.
Probably.
No, his face looked more amused. So, all right. A couple of things I want to shout out. First and foremost, I do want to shout out the Buffalo Bills. Did sprinkle some money on the Bills to win that game. Money line. It was my lock of the week last week. And
look at you.
Paid off well. So it worked out good. I'm glad there wasn't even like a, down to the wire, heart pounding out of my chest. It was just one of those, don't worry, we got this. So shout out the Buffalo Bills big time. Way to come through like I knew y'all would. Let's see. Another shout out I do want to actually give another team is the San Francisco Giants. I did notice that they did have a little bit of a moment of silence for Ray Fosse. I know we touched on that at the beginning of our show tonight. So just really a shout out to them. Just a real class act move for sure. To kind of take a moment to, have that moment of silence for Fosse for sure. Yeah. And let's see, I felt like I maybe had a third one. Do I have another one? I don't think so. I think we're good there. So those are my two. So Jay, take it away.
I got quite a few actually. I got like 6. So
oh boy.
We're going.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I'll touch on it if you don't cover it.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I did have a post birthday shout out to our teammate Kelly. Kelly had her birthday. She just turned 21. So congratulations, Kelly, for drink with us. Excellent. So, but yeah, so shout out Kelly. Happy belated birthday to you. I think it was just this past Sunday, 10/10. So happy birthday to Kelly.
Happy birthday, Kelly. Last weekend, Tyson Fury and Wilder 3 was a slobber knocker of a heavyweight fight. Great trilogy. They laid it all out there for us, and it was a hell of a fight. So if you have a chance, go on YouTube, check it out. You'll get your free money worth, basically. Want to shout out, it was my mom's birthday yesterday, so happy heavenly birthday, Mama. Hope you're doing well. On that note, my dad is getting remarried pretty soon this weekend in Hawaii. So congrats to him and Janet.
Oh no, his audio kicked out. Hold up, Jay. Your audio kicked out that time. Still out. That Starbucks Wi-Fi. John, you spoke too soon.
I'm not touching that one.
Oh, wait a minute. Jay, try again.
Where'd you guys leave off? Where did I leave off?
He's going to Hawaii.
You're going to Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah, my dad's getting remarried in Hawaii, so congrats to him and Janet. I'd like to also shout out ESPN Plus for hockey. There is dope, and you get to see mostly all the games for a small fee.
God, it feels
weird.
Feels weird to see it on TNT.
Very user friendly. Shout out, welcome back, Drew Amenda to the Sharks. I mean, he's coming back, announcing some games. I've always liked Drew because he kind of tells it how like it is. The Sharks are playing like shit.
Yeah,
he tells you they're playing like shit. I like it. I find it very, very. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but
authentic.
It's authentic, and it's not. You don't just get told. The sugarcoat. If you don't get told what you want to hear.
Right, sugarcoat working for the team policy crap. He tells it like it is.
Yep.
Shout out to.
He calls out players when they're playing bad, and I'm here for it. Like.
Yeah.
Also,
Dan Boyle's on the pregame now, right?
Dan Boyle's doing some pregame shows too. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And he was very. He helps all like it is too. I mean,
Honest.
He's very honest and very blunt, and as a hockey player, he's the same way. So, I'm here for the bluntness. To tease a hockey, I'm very excited to see the Sharks' young players. Not have high expectations this year for them, but I'm ready to see what happens with guys like Eklund and such. And my last shout out is the Dodgers and Giants. I mean, they're putting on a hell of a season. It's coming down. It's the bottom of the 8th now, tied 1-1. It's what a year for both teams, no matter what happens here. And tip of the cap to both these teams. It's been entertaining baseball all season long. So that's all I got.
I wonder if they brought in Jansen 1 inning too early.
I
wonder if they brought him in 1 inning too early because they're expecting him to get both out the 8th and 9th.
Yeah. So.
Why do the Dodgers keep relying on that guy? He's not very good.
He's been decent the last few months.
I'm waiting for like a Posey Jack right about now. Just
no. Oh, he's right.
All right. Well, maybe we should put this
wrap up and go watch the rest of the game.
That way we can all watch it. So,
Yep.
All right. Last thing before we go, gotta plug it in there. If you are not already doing so, give us a follow over at our YouTube channel. It's at Sports Bets, but mostly Chaos Podcast. Like, subscribe us there. Social media, Twitter, Instagram. It's at SBBMC_pod, POD. Same as well. Give us a like, give us a follow there, comment, DM, anything like that. Anything you guys like of the show. We'd love to hear back from you on there as well. And thank you guys very much for watching. Once again, Ben was unfortunately unable to join us this week, but the plan is that he should be back with us next week, which means if you're looking for hockey coverage, that will be on the show. So, boys, anything else? We good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go. Game's on. Let's go, baby.
All right, that does it. Thank you guys again for watching so much, and we'll see you all very, very soon.